bring in some of our reporters and analysts standing by with us. Much to discuss with NBC News White House correspondent Yamiche Alcindor. Also with us, Dan Lamothe. He is a Pentagon reporter at The Washington Post. David Rothkopf, a columnist for The Daily Beast, and Christina Greer, associate professor of political science at Fordham University. So, Yamiche, the White House has taken several new steps in this so-called crime crackdown. The president signing right now an executive order on cashless bail. He says it'll start in D.C., but he wants to end it nationwide, as the administration also plans to deploy troops to other cities. Get us up to speed.
Well, this is really President Trump tightening his grip on Washington, D.C. The president is trying to use every federal tool in his toolbox to try to really exert power over Washington, D.C. What we're seeing right now as he's signing this executive order is the president essentially trying to force Washington, D.C. to do away with this cashless bail system, which has been in a policy of the city since 1992. I can also tell you that the crime rates since 1992 have fallen. Essentially, what cashless bail says is that if you are someone who is charged with a crime, money is not going to be the reason that why you're free or not free. It's going to be whether or not you are someone who's seen as violent or as a flight risk. It gives judges the discretion to do that. We've also seen just in the last year, the D.C. mayor actually pushed for even more expanded detention. So the D.C. mayor has in some ways already tightened the grip in terms of detentions. The president also going to be signing a second executive order targeting nationwide cashless bail. And that's going to be looking at states like Illinois, which of course has Chicago. It's a place that the president has targeted over and over again. And what that executive order says is that the president wants his staff to go through and find every jurisdiction, every state that has a cashless bail system. And then he wants to find federal grants or programs or a way for the federal government to take money away from those states or cities to try to force them to end their cashless bail system. Now, the president just said that this is really a dangerous system that puts people that are on the street and violent criminals on the street. Experts and people who are against cash bail systems say that really cash bail systems, all it does is hurt people who are low income. People might spend years, months in prison that aren't any more violent than someone who just had the money to get out of prison. So experts say that the cash bail system just really doesn't work, and that's why D.C. and other places don't have it. It's definitely going to be another fight here because Washington, D.C. is now going to have to decide if it wants to follow through with this or if it might lose even more federal funding than it already has on it.
And Christina, what is your reaction to this cashless bail executive order?
Well, I mean, it's part of the president's agenda of his revenge tour on cities that are honestly led by African-American leadership. I mean, we see the cities that he's targeting: Baltimore, Chicago, Los Angeles, and Washington, D.C. As he continues to defund so many parts of this country and really weaken the economy in so many communities throughout the country, it will just further his agenda to militarize certain communities. I mean, this is frightening at best, in the sense that so many people in the Republican Party are standing by while the president uses the power of the executive order to take rights away from citizens of this nation. I think it is incredibly important to really look at the cities that he's targeting, because his image of cities, especially cities with large Black populations, are seen as these criminal entities. And as the data continues to show, and you've laid that out quite clearly, so many of these cities, obviously they are not perfect. They're large cities with millions of people, but, the trend has been downward. And so as he continues to defund so many aspects of this nation, he's only making cities less safe on so many different levels.
And we'll continue to monitor this. He is expected to potentially take questions, so we'll dip back in at that point. But, Dan, the other big development we've been following is the National Guard troops there in the nation's capital overnight now starting to carry firearms. It's already been a couple of weeks, of course, with troops on the ground there. What is your understanding of this change? Why arm them now?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're looking at a couple things here. One, the number of National Guard in D.C. has increased over the last several days. I think there's a question over how they may be used, whether they'll be sent into other neighborhoods. Some of those neighborhoods, I think, do have a fair assessment would be at least a greater security risk to the Guardsmen. I think another read here is the Guardsmen, I think, are also under some degree of risk. They are kind of stuck here in the middle. And they are a target as well.
And you've also been closely following the White House plan to crack down on cities like Chicago, including using it as a way to ramp up deportation efforts. The president talked a little bit about Chicago even in this Oval Office moment. So how is this supposed to work there in Chicago?
Yeah, the Washington Post scooped on Saturday that there is active planning to send troops to Chicago. It could be National Guard. It could be active duty. The most likely scenario is that we would see National Guard, something akin to the deployment we saw in Los Angeles in June. If that were to occur, you're likely very quickly going to run into legal contests. There is still an active legal battle over whether the deployment to Los Angeles was legal.
Right. That is still pending. The president claimed otherwise. David, in your new piece, you write about the ways the Trump administration is, as you describe it, trying to transform the government into a weapon to serve its grievances. How does this crackdown in D.C. and perhaps beyond fit into that strategy?
And by people that are
Well, the president is trying to arrogate all power in this country into himself, and then to impose his will across the country without any regard for the laws that have governed the country for the past couple of hundred years. He has complete contempt for states' rights, complete contempt for cities, complete contempt for voters. I thought it was very telling in the brief bit that you showed before we came on that the president, made this little aside like, well, some people say they would like to have a dictator. Why would he say that? Because clearly that's the direction he's heading. Clearly we are in the midst of seeing a police state established in the United States with one man, not the law, one man guiding the actions of that police state and lying about it. Because the other thing you saw in the clips we've seen just now is Trump issuing forth a tsunami of lies about the situation, about what he's done, about what has happened since then. He's lying to protect the fact that he is initiating this police state reality in the United States of America.
And Christina, you touched on the fact that so many of the cities that he's targeting have black mayors. And when you look at the facts, 13 of the 20 U.S. cities with the highest murder rates are actually in Republican-run states. So how do you square what's going on here?
Well, he doesn't need to square it because his supporters don't need facts or evidence. They just need the president to say it and repeat it. I mean, what we're looking at is, in so many ways, Donald Trump is a political arsonist. He sets the fire and then he comes in and says that he saved the building. And so what he consistently does is create problems. I mean, he's both the hero and the victim of his own story. But every accusation that he makes is a real confession. He knows these cities, if they're struggling economically, it's because he's defunding said cities. He says that, museums are the problem. It's because he wants to erase realities of American history. And so obviously, so many of the cities with black mayors are in states with Democratic governors. We think about, New York City, where it's looking like we might have a progressive mayor January 1st with our Democratic mayor or Democratic governor, Kathy Hochul. We've got Pritzker, who's looking, more and more like a 2028 contender in Illinois. You've got Gavin Newsom, who's also in conversations about 2028 running for the presidency. And so these are specific targets. And we've also seen Donald Trump now starting to go after people he perceives are his enemies. And so, we saw it with Tish James, the Attorney General of New York. We're seeing it with other African-American women across the country. But this type of targeting, especially on an individual level, not just for Democrats, but now even people from his own party who dare to speak out against him, we're entering into an authoritarian regime. I think we're already there. And as was said, when he says these little asides, some people say they want a dictator. It's because he is surrounding himself with courts and members of his own party in Congress who are abdicating their own power to let him run roughshod over the Constitution. And so many things that many Americans thought were laws, we now realize are just norms. And things that are laws, we recognize that we don't even have the institutions that have enough people to enforce many of said laws. And so the brakes and the levers to curtail some of this power are weakening on the daily basis, especially as he signs executive orders, giving himself more and more power over cities.
even during this executive order signing session, if you will, what we were just witnessing there, as Christina was talking, I'm told was somebody giving him an honorary U.S. Marshals Service badge. David, it seems like he is surrounded by people in his cabinet and beyond who are just reinforcing these kinds of instincts that the president has to take over.
That was his purpose all along. It's why he picked a group of people that were widely regarded as incompetent or sycophants. He's been planning to send troops into American cities since he was the president the last time. Remember, when the BLM protests started, he wanted to send in troops. He wanted to shoot protesters. And then his Secretary of Defense and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs said no. So what did he do this time? He looked for a bunch of patsies who would stand around, say, yes, sir. Isn't it beautiful that you're sitting in this gilded office with these idiotic trophies around you? And we'll do whatever you want. Sadly, the Supreme Court of the United States and the Congress of the United States have also been completely passive in living up to their constitutional responsibilities. And as a result, this one guy with this kind of crazed agenda, who's getting more crazed on a daily basis, is actually able to impose his will on the country. And very, very few people in positions of power in Washington are standing up to him.